Can you make some noise? All right, awesome. I'm so excited. I exist to inspire people around me so they can go on to inspire people around them to achieve the fullest potential. My name is Ahmed. And people call me as an influencer. But I'm not. I'm an entrepreneur. That's what I do. All right, வணக்கம். நான் entrepreneur எப்படி சொன்னேன்னா first year college படிக்கிற வரைக்கும் இருக்குல்ல, I never knew the word entrepreneur. But today, there is like amazing kids who are presenting on stage and who are just 10 years old. And they say, I want to become an entrepreneur. Sid, I want to become an entrepreneur. So, it is just an amazing journey. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to be talking about my journey. It's called as the journey of awesomeness. Starting the entrepreneurial journey, I never knew that I would become an entrepreneur, but always on the hustle with it. But the most important thing, what I'm going to talk about is, there is this amazing love and affection what I got from this community. The community which I met today, and the communities what I meet, and my Tamil Makkala meet, the excitement and the energy what I get. But a couple of things which I always see. I want to become an entrepreneur, but I'm working as an executive in an organization, and I'm unable to get out of the shackles. I'm not able to become an entrepreneur. I hear the story time and again. Another story what I hear is, now I'm a big corporation and I'm doing an entrepreneurial gig on the side as well, but I'm not able to scale the organization. The third thing what I see, which is most common, there are so many amazing Tamil entrepreneurs, but you don't see them scale to the next level. You have never seen me. We don't see. Maybe I missed the point completely. I don't see a lot of Tamil entrepreneurs who are like topping the charts or leading the nation's leading Tamil organization. I don't see that. But in this entire story, in the next 15 minutes, hopefully, there might be some stories, some inspiring stories which you might get out of this, which could give you a blueprint of how to overcome these three things. In fact, there's a book which I'm writing, and it's coming out in October, which talks about this journey as well. This is specifically for executives, and it is written with our Tamil Makkal in mind, as to how we can become opportunity creators in the world. But moving on. So, in the session, generally you have trivia. So, this is the first question for you all, and there is a giveaway as well. First, Kelvi. What is this picture? Any idea? Any takers? Kids can immediately relate to, I guess. Yeah, go on. It looks like a cafeteria. Which cafeteria? Vatican, no? Hogwarts, okay, all right, very good. It looks like a Hogwarts cafeteria, but it's not a Hogwarts cafeteria. So which school is this? Oxford. Awesome, very well done. That is Oxford. This picture is 1374. The first picture on the left is 1374, and the picture on the right is what you see in Harry Potter movies and all of that, right? But there is a story behind it. The story behind it is, it is actually oak. Those oaks are about 200 feet in length, 2x2 oak. It's very hard to find that oak. When they originally built the structure, it's called as New College in Oxford, and you can look it up in Google as well. So when they originally built this building, they knew oak is going to get always infested by beetle. So beetle gets infested. So what happened was, many years later in the university, they saw there was beetle infestation, and they were trying to figure out how are we going to replace those oak arches. These are like so hard to find. And suddenly, so they called the entomologist and all of those folks. They said, we have to replace the oaks, otherwise the ceiling is going to drop. So they figured out, one of the gentlemen at Oxford looked out the window and said, hey, there are some amazing oak trees out here. Why don't we call our forester? Foresters are the people who are maintaining all of those amazing forests right around Oxford, the lush, greeny campus. So when they called, the forester said, we've been waiting for 400 years for your call. Why? Because those trees were planted to replace when this wood gets rotten. That was the long-term thinking. What FeTNA FITEN is doing today is investing and sowing the seed to build the next Tamil fortune entrepreneurs here. Now you can applaud. Thank you. So, moving forward, next to trivia. Okay, who is this gentleman? Winston Churchill. Sir Winston Churchill. All right, and what is he smoking? Okay, Orayur cigar nu சொன்னீங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் Cuban cigar. அப்புறம் what else? அதுக்கு பேர் வந்து ஒன்னு இருக்கு. கூகுள் கூட பண்ணிக்கலாம். சுருட்டு. What is it called in English? Okay, that's great. I'm so glad that nobody knew this. All right. So it is called as cheru. Surutu is the English word is called as cheru, right? And I say the story because this is where I come from. This is my place. And this is where I was born and brought up. And this is the slide what you're going to see for the next 10 minutes. So, why do I say the story where I come from is, Trichy is a place. Orayur is right in Trichy. It's in the heart of Trichy. So, during the World War, back in the days, Trichy, Orayur was one of the places, not one of the places, the dominating place in the world of cigars. Cherut is a cigar which is 6 inches long, which is cut on both the sides. And Winston Churchill's most favorite cigar was called as Trishnapuri. And Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, right? Sherlock Holmes, they'll say, I light up the Trishnapuri. That is who we are. But we were competing head-on with the Cuban cigars back in the day. Head-on in the world. And some of the world's top leaders, including Sir Winston Churchill, was a fan of Trishnapuri cigars. Why? Because Tamil Makkal, where we are from, we are simple people, we are ordinary people, we do simple things, ordinary things extraordinarily well. Those people who were manufacturing those cigars back in the day, they never knew what the popularity of this cigar was. But they were just in the process of creating just an amazing product which is loved by people around the world. And that is exactly what we did with VDart. The journey what we started was creating an organization which can deliver for Fortune 1000 corporations just by simple, ordinary talent whom you can groom and train to build and deliver solutions for Fortune corporations. That's who we are. But I will cut short the story and move on to my story. Where did I come from? So I was born and brought up at Trichy. Amma appa vandu, like all of us have a very similar story. We either come from, some of us are privileged to come from upper middle class or influential family, but most of us, we all come from either poverty, below poverty, middle class, veetla vandu bayangara kashtam. That's been the story around. My story is no different. Mom and dad, family of 6, amma vandu school teacher ah irundanga. Appa vandu he completed only in 10th grade. And then Trichy is the place, and many of you, எத்தனை பேர் Trichy ல இருக்கு? Okay, awesome. Give it up for Trichy. Can you please? All right. Trichy, my love. That's how I call it as. So, anyways, coming from a lower middle class or a poverty line family, right? My dad had studied only till 10th grade. Appa vandu he was Kailangarayil vela seithiruந்தாரு. Then he worked as a driver. He worked as a farmer. He tried all these various different things. Idhula enna all kulandingalai vechittu amma had quit her school job, and we have to make the means within that. இப்போ வந்து எங்க அம்மா வயசு வந்து she's 89. நான் போன தடவை கூட கால் பண்றப்ப அவங்களுக்கு வந்து அப்படியே கொஞ்சம் she's losing her memory a little bit. ஆனா ஒண்ணு ஞாபகம் இருக்கு, நீ எவ்வளோ தாண்டா அடம் பிடிச்ச கேம்பியன்ல போறதுக்குன்னு சொல்லி. ஆனா அந்த ஒரு இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் paid off because I was able to communicate. It just built the whole package what I am is just because my mom and dad, they decided, you know what, இவன் வந்து இவ்வளோ அடம் படிக்கிறான் ஸ்கூலுக்கு, வீரமாமுனிவர் ஸ்கூலுக்கு போக மாட்டேன்னு சொல்கிறான், தமிழ் மீடியம் ஸ்கூலுக்கு போக மாட்டான், இங்கிலீஷ் மீடியம் ஸ்கூலுக்கு டை ஷூலாம் போட்டுட்டு தான் போவேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அடம் பிடிச்சேன் அந்த காலத்தில், லைக் when I was in nursery. ஸோ அதனால் வந்து they sent me to an Anglo-Indian school in Campion whom I'm so proud of. கேம்பியனில் படிக்கிறப்ப வந்து ஸ்கூலில் அனுப்புறதுக்கு வந்து ஒவ்வொரு மாதம் ஃபீஸ் கட்டுறதுக்கு இருக்குல்ல, பணம் வந்து அவ்வளோ டைட், very very difficult, beg, borrow, all of that, and they made me study. இதுக்கு நடுவில் வந்து my dad got an opportunity to go abroad and life changed over a period of time, and he worked as a driver overseas, as a result of which our family transformed. But let me get to this. அம்மா அப்பா ஸ்கூலுக்கு அனுப்பிச்சோன்னா கேம்பெயினில் சூப்பராக நம்ம பையன் படிக்க போகிறான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி யோசிச்சுட்டு இருந்தாங்க. பட் நமக்கு வந்து அவ்வளோ கிரே மேட்ரு கிடையாது இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிற பசங்க மாதிரி. ஸோ education was a little average for me. I was like an average student, but as you get older, right around 12th grade, I didn't know that cutoff mark for Tamil Nadu Engineering College admission. I wanted to become a doctor, so I was focusing on biology and all of that. So I failed in math. In the sense, I got only 58. Now I'm in engineering college, I went to degree certificate. What is it? Sir, that was mark. You cannot become an engineer in Tamil Nadu. So I went to Bangalore to study my engineering. Bangalore engineering போட்டோன்னே, ஸோ அந்த 6 மாதம் வந்து I was trying to do like biology, biomedical. அடுத்த வருஷம் எழுதி I'll go join, do an entrance exam again and become a doctor. All of that happened. But meanwhile, my brother pushed me and said, no, you can't become a computer science next year. Went to do computer science, 4-year degree, and the 50,000 pay பண்றதுக்கு வந்து வீடு அடகு வச்சு they had to pay 50,000. Meanwhile, my dad had passed away around that time frame. Anyways, joined the college, 4-year degree, promptly only 7 years முடிச்சிட்டேன். All the people thought, man, this guy is like amazing, he's doing a lot of things. But 4 years முடிக்கிறப்ப 21 arrears ஓட சூப்பராக எழுதல. But I had lost that appetite. I didn't want to get a degree because I thought, all my friends said, dude, you are so good at talking, you can become a sales guy. I said, okay, as long as I can get a job, why not? So, first job, vandana paper porati, saw the job, and they said, what to become? I wanted to be in something in computer science because I studied computer science without knowing how to write a line of code. Honestly, even till date, I don't know how to write a line of code. I run a technology firm, but I don't know. Alright, so anyways, I can't because we are people compilers. So anyways, compiler is a word there you, that's why Mati are people compilers. Coming out of college, first day I go out, get a job as a sales executive, marketing executive for Brilliant Computers, selling computer education, going door to door and selling, convincing students and convincing parents, stating that computer education படிக்கிறீங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி 1200 ரூபா, அந்த 1200 ரூபா வந்து வீட்டுக்கு வந்து பயங்கர முக்கியம். That is the only reason why I took up the job, because I had to give that entire 1200 to my mom and the family was running. Grew in Trichy, super போயிட்டு இருந்தது, 5000 ரூபா சம்பளம் வாங்கிட்டு இருந்தது. Then I had this opportunity. Suddenly one of my friends said, and you know the friends circle, everybody is going to America. You also have to go to America. Recruiter in the marketing executive, then to become without programming skills, how do you go to America? So I went and joined a programming class. என்ன பண்ணாலும் ஒரு லைன் கோட் கூட எழுத வரல. I was learning power builder. மக்கடிச்சு அது இது அவங்க சொன்னாங்க DSQல வேலை கிடைச்சிரும், ஏதாவது பண்ணிடலாம் அப்படின்னாங்க. Somehow I didn't have that at all in me. And then suddenly out of the blue, one of my college friends comes up and said, hey, there is a job for a recruiter in the US. Recruiter I know, yes. These guys come from the US in early 90s, I'm talking about. There's a bunch of recruiters who come from the US, they'll hire talent from, and it is headhunting, it is exciting. Collegeல போய் வேற கேம்ப் வேற டேக் எல்லாம் போட்டுட்டு you go into TCS, HCL, Cognizant, the மாதிரி companies. That time it was called the Satyam and DSQ campusல வந்து வெளியில போய் you just hang out. People will come and give you paper resumes எடுத்துட்டு you send it to the US. I made a record in 6 months. I got like about 150 people whom I recruited, and first time I ever, actually a company sponsored me to fly all over the country. They were so excited. This was a Pittsburgh-based firm. So they said, say, we would like to have you in the US in 6 months. Game changer. அது வரைக்கும் கூட டிகிரி கிளியர் பண்ணல. ஆனா US வரணும்னா டிகிரி வேணுமே. Last paper maths. After 17 attempts. கரெக்டா கடவுள் புண்ணியத்துல அது என்ன ஆச்சுன்னு தெரியல அந்த டைம்ல அப்படியே 35 மார்க் எனக்கு அதே அடிச்சிருச்சு. அதை பார்த்தோன்னே how God is so kind to me. Finally he thought, okay, this guy has to pass, otherwise nothing is going to happen. The world is not going to change. அது கிடைச்சவனே இருக்குல்ல, right away, and I was so scared கான்சுலேட்ல போய் பார்க்கறதுக்கு. In the sense like, are they going to give a stamping or not? ஏன்னா மார்க் ஷீட் இவ்வளோ இருக்கு, ஏன்னா கன்சாலிடேட் மார்க் ஷீட் வந்து இன்னும் யூனிவர்சிட்டியிலேருந்து கொடுக்கல. இவ்வளோ மார்க் ஷீட் எடுத்துகிட்டு போனோன்னு I'm just thinking, what is he going to ask? Dude, are you so dumb that somebody is recruiting you? So fortunately they did not ask. அதுக்கப்புறம் US consulate பக்கமே போகல throughout my life. After that, straight away green card and citizen. So that's what happened. Fortunately, God was kind. But nonetheless, anyways, came to Pittsburgh, worked for 2 small businesses, and this is where I want you to relate. Okay? Worked for the first company, which is $7 million. It's a Pittsburgh-based company in technology staffing. Started this, surrounded by all American sales workforce. Then worked for another small company. Both these companies, they are small business entrepreneurs. And again, during this, the offshoring trend is starting, right? Getting work done from India and all that. And I'm saying to all these people, எல்லாரும் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கேன், திருச்சின்னு ஒரு சூப்பர் ஊர் இருக்குன்னா அந்த ஊர்ல வந்து 100 எஜுகேஷனல் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் மேல இருக்கு. சூப்பரா we can develop a talent. There is nobody ready to listen. Working out of these, talking to these companies, nothing was happening. And I worked for these organizations, first 3 years in Pittsburgh, then worked for Detroit for about 7 years. And then these folks say, you know what, we are not ready to do anything, you know, they want to do something in India, they're doing it in Hyderabad, Chennai and all these places, but nobody is really thinking about Trichy. And the time they were in Trichy, Hyderabad train money place had them as a part of my team. But somehow I felt there is nobody who's going to do anything around it. Right? And I had spent about 7 years in this firm. Idukku nadula vandu or recession. I'm making about $80,000 in Detroit. 9/11 happens with a wife and a daughter at home, with a young daughter, and I'm paying $900 for the apartment. The company says, I'll give you $2,000, and if you want to stay in the US, you can. I'm still on H-1B, and I don't know what to do. அப்போ யோசிச்சுட்டு இருந்தேன், இந்தியா போயிடலாமா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. And many of us will be in those similar situations as well. We lose jobs, and it's a very, very difficult situation. We said, you know what, wife Sana, you know what, let's grind it together. I'll do something. She learned cosmetology. She has started doing cosmetology work. I was doing this work, and rende peru company who were left out. That company, in the next 4 years, what I did in that company was grew that firm from a $2 million to a $22 million firm, where, thank you, learned the art of running a business, because the entrepreneur was lifestyle entrepreneur. Basically, both the small firms what I worked for, they were lifestyle entrepreneurs. They didn't have a larger vision, a vision to create an impact, a vision to change the trajectory of people's life, a vision to grow to a $100 million firm. Adu mari edume kedadu. It's about lifestyle. It's about, do I own a big mansion? Do I own nice cars? That's all it is. And can I just run the firm 10, 15 million or 5 million? And that's not what was setting in me. So, anyways, 2007, peak of recession, December 14th. We are thinking about this, me and my wife. We can move on to the next slide. So, December 14th, we come up with this idea, we'll start this firm. We'll start a company, and we came up with this amazing logo. And we said we have to name the company, which is something, when people ask, when you're entrepreneurs, right? When you start your entrepreneurial journey, I want you to think about what is the name when you say to a customer, they're going to ask who, what does it mean? That has to be intent. 15 minutes. We decided this logo, we call it as VDart. V is people, we together as people, right? And Dart is dash, which is speed. 2 things what companies look for is speed and quality. And I'm a huge avid fan of speed, and that is what athletics and speed, that's what I like. So we named it as VDart. We call it as VDart. V dash provides services for our customers with bullseye, precision, and we had all this logo. And then comes the next slide, which is, that logo took about 15 minutes. And 10 years later, we went on to come up with that logo. It just took about 18 months and $500,000. Yeah, that's what happened. So that's where we went on to, and why does it happen? Because as businesses, we got to evolve, we got to change, we got to make the look and feel of the brand. This is my first team, Mottamadi startup, what we started in Trichy, we call it as Terrace Startup. in Trichy. That's my first chair and first computer, which I still have it. You can move on to the next slide. You can move on to the next slide. Okay, so why, this is a key takeaway, which I would love for you to do. What was transformation? Mentorship programs. We got trained by amazing corporations. You get small businesses, you have incredible opportunities. This town is ruled by USAA. That's what it looks like. How many of you from USAA? Okay, so USAA has small business mentoring opportunities. Delta Airlines sponsored us. Delta Airlines had us as a small business. They mentored us for a year, and then they sponsored us for Tuck Business School. So it is so important for you all to think about, as small businesses, how can you get corporate mentorships to get into to institutions like Tuck Business School. Long story short, I'll tell you this. What happens is, the sports, I had this like huge basketball on there. You won't get live telecast and all that. Small clip snippets here and there. So I had these pictures of Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Carl Lewis and all of these folks. And then what happens is I go through this Delta program and Tuck Business School, and Delta invites me one day and for their supplier day, because I went through their leadership program. And who's there with me? It is Magic himself. Real magic happens if you actually wish. The universe will conspire to make it happen. Moving on. I will conclude this in just a few minutes. So what happens when you, look for large business opportunities, mentoring opportunities that is free for you. Latch on to programs like Tuck Business School, Kellogg's Business School. This is free. Absolutely available for you. For small businesses. You can do a retail store. You are a student. You just did a startup. You can still be mentored by these large corporations. And there is a way to do it. This gentleman, his name is Len, Professor Len at Tuck Business School. The ladder for success, right? You may not have come from think about me, all right? No lackluster credentials, never have worked for a large corporate, never have run a business, but yet we were able to do this. That is because of powerful opportunities provided by programs. Even though Professor Len when we were $35 million and I was sitting in the program, he said, what is your vision? I said, we want to get to a $100 million journey. I'm saying this in 2013 in the class. He says, Sid, staffing industry is commoditized, wafer thin margins, you cannot do 100 million. It's not going to happen. 2016. This is at the 2017 conference. 2016, we went past the threshold of the $100 million journey. And I was showing this, and the only reason, come on. Can you get to the next slide? So the reason why, can you get on to the next slide? Okay. I'll get to this. All right, this is good. So the reason why I say, Professor, the ladder for success, on the class level, this is the one thing which they thought is, don't think about how do you build a business which is going to last for 100 years. How do you become a centenarian, all right? So you can't do it with one sliver of business, but look at the spectrum of various different industries, what you can. Technology. So we started off with services, which is Jimmy On. We started off with Vouch. So if you're driving an automotive, where you're opening your phone, where you're opening your car with your phone, that is our tech. Close to about 15 million consumers. Think about it. Tamil entrepreneur, coming with no education, no lackluster credentials, coming from Trichy, and we deliver a world-class car. Right here in the US, right? That is trust people. We grew this firm from 0 to 40 in 1 year during pandemic. 0 to 40 million in 1 year. The last one, thank you. The last one is Sid Ahmed. What we did was, during the pandemic, I was talking to many students. A bunch of IIM folks came up and said, hey, we will create a platform for you. You can have a wider reach. I see so many youngsters come and connect with me. It is all because of the vision what the IIM students had in terms of me connecting with the younger generation so that we can democratize entrepreneurship. How can you take entrepreneurships to Trichy, Namakkal, Karur, Erode? How can we talk about that so we can change the trajectory of people's lives? That's what we did, and that is what Tuck made me help think. All right, there is a lot of people who are waiting for me, okay? Next slide. Purpose, most importantly, what I want you to think about it, and I'll close with this. Most importantly, what I want you to think about is, while you are thinking about your entrepreneurial journey, our purpose is to transform the trajectory of people's lives. நிறைய பேர் வந்து ஆஃபீஸில் வந்து பர்பஸ்லாம் போட்டிருப்பாங்க, but they would not know what it is. You ask each and every VDart employee, they'll tell you what is the purpose. The purpose is to transform the trajectory of people's lives, and we exist to create value for our customers in every interaction. Okay? So purpose, it has to be at the core. We wanted to do all of these things, but most importantly, what we said was, we will do all of this from Trichy. So when you come to Trichy, this is what you will see at the airports, at various different locations. Trichy is the home of VDart. Trichy is the place which delivers for all of our customers. We've become the largest IT-enabled services employer in Trichy. We've transformed the trajectory of people's lives. Well, the very reason why there was a burning desire that when my dad was looking for a job, I had always grown up without, as a single parent, our dream, our goal was to see how is it that we can create opportunities for people to live and work in Trichy. I'm so glad to say there are 750 people working in Trichy, but I have my first employee whom I hired, my first colleague, Don Blessing, right? He's right here, yeah? First, and he's the guy who did not show up. He's completed 15 years in the organization. Day one interview முடிஞ்சோன மொட்டை மாடியில வந்து யார் வேலை செய்வா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு வராம இருந்தாரு. So today he manages over a $30 million portfolio. He's come to the US. There are so many youngsters who we have groomed who keep traveling between the US. So all I want you to leave with this particular message. When you are creating the next organization, first of all, fear not. Don't get into this shackles of golden handcuffs. I had a $500,000 offer on the table when I quit my previous company to start my own entrepreneurial journey. Bangara dilemma. A lot of executives will be tied up with that golden shackles, but you can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it, and you can do it. Absolutely. So keep that in mind, and I'm here to help you and walk you through your journey. You are special, you are unique, and you are destined for greatness! Let's go!
Person who has proven ability to VDart to Atlanta. So Sid is generous donor as well as
Pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
and the business come through ஒரு நல்ல வாழ்க்கையை வாழ்வதற்கு வாழ்க்கையை படிக்கிற காலனி ஒரு வெற்றி சாதனை அடைய இந்த சாதனை என்பதற்கு நாம் அனைவரும் ஒரு கையெழுத்துடன் வாழ்க்கை.
Thank you.
I'll keep it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good job, man.
Oh, awesome. Thanks.